Welcome to Link Up and Learn with Live Big. I'm Sarah, and today we're diving into the world of occupational therapy, what it is, why it matters, and how it's transforming lives. Joining me is Amanda Trist. She's an area manager for New South Wales and an occupational therapist. Amanda works directly with individuals and families to create lasting, positive occupational change. Amanda, how would you describe occupational therapy to someone unfamiliar with it?
Thanks, Sarah. Well, to let you know what occupational therapy is, it's often a very difficult concept for the general population to understand. The title doesn't really explain all that much. What is occupation? Well, occupational therapy is all about helping people to do the things that matter most to them in their everyday life. Now, that could be getting dressed, going to school, cooking a meal, accessing the community, or joining in on social activities. Here at Live Big, our OTs work with people of all ages and abilities to build the skills and confidence they need to live more independently and meaningfully. So the occupation is not about jobs, but it's about everyday life. So that's what occupational therapy is all about.
Sounds very beneficial. How about if you could share a moment or a story that illustrates the impact of this therapy in real life?
Absolutely. So as OTs at Live Big, we have a story where one of our OTs worked with a young boy who was really struggling with sensory processing and fine motor skills and emotional regulation. He found it hard to join in classroom activities and was becoming quite withdrawn. Now, through regular OT sessions, we were able to focus on building his core strength and coordination, worked on his fine motor skills and his pencil grasp to improve his coordination in his handwriting skills. And we also tried to address some of his what we call emotional regulation. And we used tools like social stories and social games to help him understand and manage different situations, and provided a toolkit of strategies that he could use in real life to help him manage some of his emotional regulation in his daily tasks, and particularly the classroom.
Yeah.
Now, the teachers were able to work closely with the OT in being able to implement some of these strategies in the classroom, and they were able to report that the transformation was quite incredible. And after about 6 months worth of OT, he was able to write his name. He was confident in joining in group play and even started initiating conversations with his peers. And it was like he was able to come out of his shell. What is really important about OT is that we don't work in isolation. So we work closely with a multidisciplinary team. So the occupational therapist was able to consult with a speech pathologist, physiotherapist, and psychologist, who all worked together to align to this child's shared goals. And were able to improve his social communication and help him navigate those interactions more confidently. So it's a really good example of how OTs can identify the areas that need working on with the individual child, but also how as a team we can bring all the expertise together to help that child achieve his goals.
Sounds very inspiring. So, what makes a great OT?
Wow, that's a great question. A great OT needs to be curious and creative and compassionate and empathetic. An OT I consider as being a great problem solver who looks at the whole person, not just a diagnosis, to be able to grab some of those problems that a person may be experiencing in their everyday life, and to give them the strategies and solutions that they need to be able to increase their independence. At Live Big, our OTs are amazing at adapting therapy to suit each individual. And that might mean that they use games or tech or everyday routines to be able to achieve those goals. And it's about meeting people where they're at and helping them move forward to improve their level of independence in their everyday life.
Mm. So I take it one of the most powerful aspects of OT is the person centered approach. So, how do we do this at Live Big?
Well, at Live Big, I'm really proud to say that person centered approach isn't just a buzzword. It's kind of how we work. It means that we start by asking our clients and our consumers, what's important to you? And we build our therapy goals around that. So, whether somebody wants to have better interactions or social interactions with others, whether they need more help managing their daily schedules, they might have a goal of wanting to be able to cook their own meals, catch public transport, or play with their grandkids. We are going to do everything that we can to tailor our support to help them achieve their individual goals that are meaningful to them. So it's all about empowering people to live their life on their terms. So we are actually being very person centered in everything that we do.
That's wonderful. And it's all about the village, isn't it? So, what are some of the ways families and care teams are included in the therapeutic approach?
So they're actually integral in this therapeutic approach. Families and support teams are the key, and we try to involve them from the start by involving them in setting goals that are meaningful to the client. We share the strategies, making sure that they are applicable and relevant to what we're doing and to the client, and we check in regularly. We need to see that what we're doing is working. And if it's not, we need to be able to adapt and change and make sure that what we are delivering and what we are providing to the client is meaningful to them. Our therapists often provide training and resources so that everybody's on the same page. And at Live Big, we know that therapy works best when it's a team effort. We know that we need to be able to involve the team because we might see our clients once a week, once a fortnight, but the family and the care teams is with those clients every day. And so they need to be able to implement those strategies to make a difference in somebody's life.
Absolutely. Environment plays a huge role in occupational therapy. What are some practical ways families and carers can create supportive spaces?
Yeah, the environment is really part of everything that the OT sort of looks at when we're thinking about our therapies and our strategies that we are giving to our participants and our clients. And families and carers can make a big difference by creating predictable routines, which help to reduce anxiety and build independence. Also, adjusting the physical space or environment is also key. Things like making clear pathways, having some visual schedules, having a sensory friendly environmental corner or space, using adaptive tools that can make everyday tasks more manageable. And when we talk about environment, we're also not going to forget this social environment. So that's about encouraging positive interactions, giving space for choice, and celebrating small wins to help create a supportive vibe and environment that empowers the person who is receiving therapy.
Can you share some examples of how small environmental changes lead to big occupational shifts?
Yeah, I can. So recently, one of our adult clients was experiencing significant mobility difficulties, which made every tasks like transferring, getting out of bed, using the bathroom, being able to stand for long periods of time to be able to do their daily tasks like preparing meals and attending to their housework. And they were even unsafe at times. So the OT was able to conduct a thorough assessment of their environment and how they were functioning within that environment and encouraged or recommended a few key changes, such as mobility aids, transfer equipment, simple home modifications like rope rails in the bathroom. And we also looked at the layout of the home to help reduce falls risks and improve access to frequently used areas. So all of those things might seem small and small little changes, but they actually make a huge impact on someone's ability to live independently in their own home. Our clients can go on from needing constant assistance to being able to complete their morning routine or daily routine independently and safely, and they can regain their confidence and reduce their risk of injury and feel more control of their everyday life when we're able to make those small environmental changes. And what is made it even more effective is the collaborative approach that OTs often use. So we work closely with the client's care support teams and including people like physiotherapists and their support workers to ensure that the equipment and strategies that we are implementing are practical and sustainable. So it's a great example of how OTs can transform someone's daily life by making these environmental changes, working with their care teams so that we're achieving their goals of independence and safety at home.
Yeah, it makes a big difference that the Live Big clinicians actually go out to their clients and
It's really important to be able to deliver our
yeah,
services in the environment that our clients live in because
absolutely.
it becomes meaningful to our clients. It is not being, we can't achieve that in a clinic space or a
Mm,
telehealth space. We really need to be able to deliver appropriate strategies that are meaningful to our clients where they are in the environments that they're functioning in. And I think that's a really lovely thing that OTs do.
it's a wonderful thing. So, what does long term success look like for individuals undergoing occupational therapy?
Look, sometimes our clients get or receive occupational therapy over long periods of time, months and years. So, long term success in OT is about building skills that our clients need to be able to attend to what they need to do in their daily life over their lifespan. So, it's not just about ticking off these little goals, which it kind of is, but it's not all about that. It's about helping people do things like regulate their emotions, make decisions, participate in their everyday activities with confidence. Whether it's a child learning to play with peers or an adult mastering public transport, success means that they're doing things that matter to them in ways that make them feel safe so they're able to achieve their independence. And at Live Big, we love seeing clients grow in that independence in their everyday tasks. And it's a real win for us. It's a great celebration. The true measure of success is that through our interventions, the client has progressed to a point where they no longer require those intensive supports that they once did, that they've been able to develop the skills and the strategies to grow and develop independence for themselves in their everyday activities.
Amanda, this has been such an insightful conversation. Thank you. Before we wrap up, what's one thing you wish people understood more about OT?
I think one thing that I would like people to know is that OT isn't just about recovery, it's for growth. And I think people sometimes associate occupational therapy with rehabilitation after an injury, but it's so much more than that. It is a very large, overarching and encompassing role, but it helps people build skills and confidence and independence in everyday life, whether that be a child learning to tie their shoes or an adult navigating mental health challenges or assessing and prescribing the correct equipment that somebody needs to be able to enable independence at home and in their community. OT is all about unlocking potential and providing the strategies required to develop the skills that somebody needs to be independent in their daily occupations or their daily life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Amanda, for joining us and sharing your thoughts on occupational therapy. If you'd like to connect with us and learn more about Live Big, visit livebig.com.au and don't forget to subscribe for more conversations like this. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. We acknowledge the traditional owners of this nation, whose country we work and live in. We recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders as traditional custodians and their ongoing connections to land and sea. We pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging as law keepers of the world's oldest living culture. We celebrate the stories, culture, and traditions of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders so we can, in the true spirit of reconciliation, continue the journey together.